Welcome to another edition of Diaspora News in Brief. This week we look at how good health can help us succeed in entertainment.
People are in a kind of a bondage to eating a certain way, and they find it hard to get out of it.
I've been doing music for a long time. There have been mistakes, there have been people who have, really used me.
In Nigeria, Nollywood movies are produced on a daily basis. At the end of the day, we're employing people.
The music industry is full of many talented artists. We caught up with a popular singer-songwriter who tells us about his journey.
I'm a singer, dancer, and I also songwrite as well.
What you looking for?
I was in a genre of R&B, but there is a growth of Afrobeat at the moment, which is making quite a lot of noise. Not saying that I can't do both, I definitely can, but as you know, music always changes. There's always a particular fund of music that always goes around and people are in support of. So it's very important as an artist to definitely jump into a genre which is growing. Not saying that you can't do what you're doing, but blend your own style into that genre to make it work.
So what have been the challenges that you would consider significant since you started this business?
I think when you go into the music industry, you can believe in yourself that you can, make it, that you want to be successful, but at the same time, people may not believe you. That's the only aspect of things, and that's the only difficulties, and that's significantly the challenge that you would have to face as an artist, independently or not, or signed or not, you know what I mean? So, when you have a talent, when God has given you a talent, how do you go about, showing people or displaying it to people and letting people believe in it? Because you can be born with a talent, but if you don't have the guidance around you, you can always go down.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've seen some of your work. I've seen that you seem quite passionate, you seem knowledgeable, and you seem focused. Isn't that something that would necessarily make you appeal to the majors and producers and so on to sign you? Absolutely.
I've been doing music for a long time now, and I've always been focused, even though there have been, mistakes, there have been people who have, really used me. But the process, all that process, and also, promoters, even managers, PAs, me just going to performances, even the audience as well. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be where I am today without the purpose of my pain. So I speak of knowledge, main reason being is because I've been through it, I've seen it, but it hasn't broken me. Main reason being is because I stuck with my instinct.
So what are you working on at the moment?
At the moment, I'm working on an Afrobeat EP, which consists of 6 songs, and I'm really trying to blend my R&B side into that Afrobeat vibe and really make it as commercial as possible with my dancing as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you're going to choreograph something for that.
Absolutely, so it will be the whole mixed thing together to make it, to make it more of an entertainment factor.
To succeed in anything, we need strong bodies and minds. We spoke with a popular author about how to achieve good balance.
It's really about trying to balance the risk with the resilience. We are recognizing the African Caribbean community here has many challenges, but there are also many successes, and some of this can come from how to find out what people are doing here. For example, we know that success comes from belonging to a community. We understand that there are things like repairing family problems, and many black families have problems of attachment. We recognize that we also have economic problems. People have to take care of themselves and their families. And indeed, where people have a breakdown, then they need appropriate help from people like themselves. I think there's a shortage of mental health practitioners. So if I have a breakdown, somebody who looks like me can take care of me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So that we need to have that balance. And we also realize people can succeed.
But this book, White Squall on the Land, what was the inspiration behind it?
Well, there are a few things which have been particularly inspiring. White squall, of course, means hunger. And in Jamaica, when people talk about white squall, they're saying that at the corner of the mouth, when you're not eating anything, the spittle dries and you have white squall. So it's not the kind on the sea, the sudden storm. It's the one that comes from deprivation and hunger. In fact, the granduncle wrote this line to my grandfather. He was saying that in Jamaica, Mr. Hungry was riding a grey horse and white squall was on the land.
Do you think that the fact that there are so many different Caribbean nationalities in the UK, that would in some way contribute to the problems that black people face in the UK?
I think that the times when black people, whether they came from continental Africa or the Caribbean, have been more successful is when they've found common cause. So there are several steps that need to be taken. For example, there are many people who have visited the different parts of the Caribbean and Africa for reunions to learn about their families, where they have come from, because they came from somewhere, you know, they came from somewhere. And if you don't know where you're coming from, how the hell can you know where you're going to? Right. So I think there are some identity issues in 2014 which need to be addressed. And we also need to find healthy ways of linking backward and forward. And we also need to tell the success stories, because we're not hearing enough about those things. We need to know what those who have succeeded here, who have done well in business and university and media and so on. And we also need to do this in the region, because it's the same people.
Diet is important for good health. We interviewed a leading natural health consultant for tips on best practices.
People are in a kind of, it's almost like kind of bondage to eating a certain way. People are locked into eating a certain way and they find it hard to get out of it, okay? And you know my views, so that people are literally being mesmerized, hypnotized by advertising. So the whole modern advertising is highly and hugely sophisticated. So when was the last time you saw an advert that tried to sell you anything?
Every day. No,
you haven't. I guarantee you haven't seen one in a long time. They don't sell with advertising. What they do, they imbue the message subliminally.
Oh, okay.
For instance, one of the most successful adverts of all time was the flake advert, where they just had a rhythm, picture of a flake, and a suggestive pair of lips, you know, and it was the biggest advert of all time, and it created exponential income for Cadbury's, you know. Now what's happened? The Cadbury's are at it again. They got another advert out now. You've seen one with the gorilla playing drums?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that got to do with chocolate? Nothing. So they don't sell, they hypnotize. There's a whole process called NLP, hypnotic induction. So you can put someone in a, it's based on dynamics how the brain works, the subconscious brain. So you can put someone in a certain state where generating alpha brain waves. You can get someone into a state where they're highly suggestible. Then you don't have to sell the product. You just embed a feeling about the product or the image of the product. Or not even the product, they use a logo, because logos are symbols. You know? So people are under that spell. If I go into anyone's house, I've been known to go to people's house and do an audit, open their cupboards, open their fridges. You do that, you find that 80% of foods in people's cupboards or fridges are the advertised brands. So it'll be the Oxo, it'll be the Cadbury's, it will be the Martinis, it'll be all the known brands, because they spend millions and millions of pounds to actually put these brands into people's subconscious framework of reference.
So they're
and
conditioning
desire.
you to buy what they're selling.
What's the strongest human force? Desire. So if you understand how to control desire, you can actually control people. So sometimes people find it hard to break out of certain eating patterns they've been programmed to. I ask all my clients, well, why do you have breakfast cereal? There's zero nutrients in a breakfast cereal, or almost zero nutrients. Well, we just do.
Habit.
Yeah, habit. But where did habit start? It started somewhere. You see?
But that's the problem within our community, the African Caribbean community.
Yeah.
We, like, I can only speak more particularly about the Caribbean community. We were brought up having cereals for breakfast. It would not necessarily have been cornflakes, but it would have been some sort of corn-based product, like cornmeal or cream of wheat and stuff like that, because they felt that as children going to school, you need to have some sort of substance in the morning. And it used to be laced with sugar because it had to taste good, otherwise the kids won't eat it. So how do you get out of that pattern of not only you practicing it, but passing it on to your kids?
It's very easy. It's actually very, very easy. I'll tell you why it's easy. Children are very, very sensitive and susceptible to colour. Kids love colour. Kids love sweet taste. So what's the most colourful sweet tasting thing you can think of?
Most colourful sweet tasting thing?
Yeah, things. Fruits.
Fruits.
Yeah,
but I see my head not even in the fruits now. I'm thinking traditionally. I'm thinking something that's not good for you.
No, it's fruits. Most sweets people eat are proxy fruits. They're pretend fruits, you see. So what we done work with parents. We said, look, just lay out for your children, lay out a spread of fruits. Let's put like grapes, put banana, put mango, put apples. Just put it out there and say, look, little one, sit down, eat what you want. When you're full up, stop eating. The kids love it. The kids just eat and say, I want to have some of this and that, And they'll be full up when they're finished and they'll stop eating. But they've had the healthiest breakfast possible.
Some would argue that, all right, that might be the healthiest breakfast possible, but how wholesome is it? Would it take them till 12 o'clock when it's lunch? Or would they have to go back to have a snack in between to make it to lunch?
No, see, the thing is, we have a misconception around fruit. See, all fruits are the ultimate snacks. They contain proteins, they contain sugars, they contain all the elements for life. But what's happened, there's something about fruit. Let me ask a question. When you were growing up, did your mum have a fruit bowl on the sideboard?
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you're growing up, did you ever used to go shopping with your mum on a Saturday?
If she could catch me,
And your mum would come home, right? Bring on the shopping and help mum put the shopping away, Okay? And you get the fruit on the fruit bowl and the fruit will go on the side, And you look at it, look nice. And you go to grab it, leave my fruit alone.
That's right.
So we kind of grow up thinking fruit is a luxury. And fruit is something, it's there, it looks good for when guests come, and we have maybe one piece a week, and by Wednesday, the bowl's nearly empty. So we've got a wrong conditioning around fruit. We don't actually believe that fruit is powerful. So they create these cereals, the whole concept of cereals. But in fairness, the concept of cereal started out as a health thing. There was actually a guy called Kellogg, and another guy called Bircher Brenner who invented muesli. So they were trying to get the aspects of maybe the corn into a palatable form that people could eat in an easy way. But that's been kind of bastardized by the way they process it. And there's no nutrients in cereal. So what we find in my work, if I get my clients to stop eating breakfast cereal and start eating fruit, their health goes up.
Including oats and all of that.
Yeah. Health goes up very quickly.
There are many challenges within the entertainment industry. We caught up with a much-loved actress for an insight on the difficulties of producing a successful Nollywood film.
Nollywood is an industry I've always wanted to be in, but I never pushed my way into it because at the time I wanted to get into it, my parents frowned at it. They wanted me to go to the uni before I focus on anything else. And the industry is an industry where parents or people think that ladies in that business are usually wayward. So my parents never wanted me to be an actress.
I can see that,
Anyway, I found my way in, I think I would say I'm destined to be an actress or to be in the media because I never fought my way through. I was at an event where I was a standing MC for someone who was not available on the night. And after emceeing the occasion, a movie director came to approach me and said to me, I understand you were a standing MC, but you did the MC very well, and I think you will be a good actress, and I would like you to be in my film.
From an MC to an actress? I mean, that's an unlikely step.
Yes. He felt that, oh, this lady who did this without being informed has really done well. If she could do this without being told, I think she will be a good actress. Yes. With all due respect, Lady Wilfred, I am not going back on my decision.
It cannot happen. For my son, the first, to have a divorce in the family? Ah, over my dead body.
Wait a minute. I'm a bit confused here. Who are you trying to protect? Your family name, your son or your granddaughter, who will grow up coming from a broken home? Which one is it?
Which one is your own now?
Why are we even having this discussion? Isn't it your son you should be talking to, Lady Wilfred? In the last 2 years, I would say I have featured in not less than 17 movies produced by 17 different people. So I would say Nollywood UK has got not less than 30 producers in the last 2 years.
So is there a challenge within the Nollywood industry or the acting industry or the African acting industry, to be more specific, financially to get films off the ground?
Yes, there are challenges. That's the biggest challenge, the money, the finance, you know, the sponsorship. Yeah, otherwise I think we're always good to go. If the money is there, yeah.
One of the things I noticed too is that it seems like every 2 weeks or every month there's a new film coming out from Nollywood.
Yes.
How do they manage that?
Yes, like I said, the challenge is money, but most of the films coming out are low budget movies.
It doesn't stop these guys
It
from doing
doesn't stop
it.
them, no, it doesn't.
You know, so you have lots of guys out there with ideas and with some skill,
Yes.
and they somehow manage to pull a cast together and they do something.
Exactly. Even, you're talking of UK, in Nigeria, Nollywood movies are produced on daily basis. Daily basis. So it's the biggest, you know, industry that's really, you know, employed a lot of people in Nigeria.
Yeah, but then doesn't that say something about the quality of the film? Because if everyone is doing it, or as they say here, everyone and their dog is doing a film, doesn't that say something about the end product?
It does. Like, I wouldn't say the quality is fantastic for every movie. Some of the movies are of really high quality, but some of them are not. But at the end of the day, we're employing people. People are watching it. They're enjoying it. They're not even complaining because that is the order of the day. It keeps, yeah. So I would say, but then again, the producers want to improve on everything, but it's only money that they need to get it improved. You can't do anything without finance.
All right,
Yeah.
Wonderful. So where are we going to see Theodora Ibekwe starring next?
Well, actually, I've just finished acting in a new movie coming up soon, and it's called 18 Karat Mama. It's going to be premiered on the 2nd of May. I'm an associate producer to the film and also one of the lead characters.
This has been CaribDirect Diaspora News in Brief. Join us next time for more news, commentaries, and exciting interviews to keep you informed.